Hi guys, Joel Butler Ford, and somebody asked me a really great question the other day, and that was, why would you lease an electric vehicle? And I thought that warranted answering some of those questions. And I'll share with you why I leased my electric vehicle. One, I kind of think that the technology is going to be changing so rapidly with the electric vehicle that some of the features of the lease really benefited my family. One, we want to keep up with the technology, and it gives us a time of an exit strategy, right? I knew at the end of 3 years what my electric vehicle was going to be worth and whether or not I wanted to keep my relationship with it. I also think that as the mileage ranges change so rapidly, that the future value of the EVs could be greatly impacted. You know, when we leased our Mach-E, it had roughly a 270-mile range. If all of a sudden it goes to a 500-mile range as an available option, man, ours isn't going to be as desirable as the one with the 500. So being able to walk away from the lease and the lease end option of walking away was super important to us. The other portion of it, let's talk about budget. My lease payment was going to be less than my purchase payment because I was able to take some of that state and federal incentive and convert that to a rebate to help keep my monetary payment down, my budget down, right? So the reasons I think and why I leased my EV, I had an exit strategy. I was able to keep up with the latest and greatest technology. I was protected that if it made sense financially at the end of the lease to make a full-time commitment to the vehicle, I was making that decision with up-to-date information on where the technology and where the battery ranges were at real time. Plus, I had less out-of-pocket expense for the first 3 years of the ownership, and I was able to rapidly depreciate that vehicle just like I would have had I been on a purchase. So I looked at my total overall cost. It was less by starting on a lease, and my total exposure and risk was less by a lease than it was on a purchase. And that's why, for me, a lease fit better in my risk. I had less risk, lower payment,